by the way. That me? Am I live? Are we live? We're live.
Yeah.
Hello, LinkedIn. Me again. So, unfortunately, Audrey's on holiday. I know everybody wanted Audrey to come and do this again because she was much better than me. Everybody said Fiona. She was absolutely brilliant last week. She's a natural. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me, right? So, unfortunately for you, Fiona, you're stuck with me. But we're going to have a good fun and a good laugh. A good laugh. So, but two things that we do before we go. And I see Audrey actually changed up my thing. She mixed it up a bit last week. So that was actually very good. But I'm going to stick to what I know, right? Yep. So big shout out to Andrew, Bold Mango Media. We've got Mikey next door who's going to hopefully put his thumb in here to say that everybody can hear us. But again, Alana, Kelsey, anyway, so what usually happens is in my office I've got this up on the big TV and they sit there and watch it.
Is that what they tell you?
That's what they tell me. I think they do because it gives them half an hour off. So give me a wee message, guys, just to say that you can hear us okay and everything is coming through. What we also do, Fiona, is before we go anywhere, we give Grow a shout out.
Oh, right? Brilliant. Cakes are amazing.
How good are they? So, today...
And the coffee.
I've got a caramel latte and then a big cream bun thing. So,
I mean, that's outrageous.
Look at the size of that bad boy. I've had 2 bites of it. It's all over me, so I've decided I'll wait until later. What you got, Fiona?
It looks like a kind of millionaire shortcake type thing, but so much better than that. I don't know, cookie dough. It just looks absolutely amazing. I didn't want to start eating it in case I couldn't talk. And a skinny latte. I mean, what a treat after that big cake.
It's shocking. I felt like one of these people going into McDonald's and you're going, can I get a large Big Mac meal, please, with a Diet Coke?
Absolutely, that's me.
So I'm like,
that's how I roll.
Can I get one of the biggest cakes you've got, and can I get a skinny latte, please? Right, so today's guest is Fiona McKee. Is it McKee? Is that how you say it?
McKee, yeah. Just
make sure I get it right. So Fiona McKee, and Fiona is an absolute gem and expert in all things HR. So we've got Fiona on today because, as you know, it's all about how things that we think could help other businesses. And Fiona's business is actually... It's right in the right place for small to medium enterprises, in my opinion. So people in the entrepreneurial kind of space where you're trying to grow a business, quite quick a lot of the time, and unfortunately people matters don't always come to the top of the agenda when everybody's running about chasing their backside. So you come in there and make sure that they're actually doing it properly from a people point of view, and they're not missing things. And one of Fiona's just recently done an audit for us and we passed, so we've just been told, which I didn't realise. But I think the approach that you've got, I think was really, really good. That's why obviously we decided to kind of go down that route. But also I think it's maybe something a wee bit different. I don't know, does other people do it the way that you're doing it? Because I've not really heard many.
So other people do offer audits, for sure, but our audit's really been built and refined in a way that we'll send you a link with a bunch of questions, then we'll ask you to send all your documents and we'll review everything you've got, all of your processes, and then we'll come back with a full gap analysis and a full report, and then we're going to come in and meet you and tell you what our findings have been, our recommendations to close those gaps. So I don't think necessarily other organisations do that. So I think they'll do a mini audit or something a bit not as detailed, but our audit takes quite a few days to do. But we try not to make it we try and make it as light in terms of labour intensiveness for the client. So Lorna would have got a link, should have answered all the questions, that to come back to us, should have sent the documents. We're doing all the reading, all the checking on our side. We're not phoning you up asking you a bunch of questions. We're reading it and doing it so that it's not labour intensive for you, because nobody's got time for that.
No.
Right? And then we'll have a call.
Especially as you're an entrepreneur, because your life's there spent trying to bring work in and keep the lights on and keep moving forward.
So then we'll have a call with, we'll use a call, and had a call with Lorna and asked her a few more questions, and then from there it's good to go for us to start like building the report. You know, from a client perspective, I'll say the most time I'm going to spend this probably half a day, right, between answering the questions, having a follow-up call. It's a few hours we're talking about,
Yeah.
which is unusual for a thorough audit, right? But we're doing all the work on our side.
Aye, in the background.
And
So,
we're experts, we know we can see a gap.
you're just looking at processes, procedures, policies, and going right. So if
You're missing that.
if you're following that, right, there's a step that could either have a negative effect on your business or potentially a negative effect on your employee, right, and then working your way through it.
Absolutely. So it's all the work's on our side, which makes it a lot easier for the entrepreneur to say, right, okay, well, and then you just say, that's the key highlights. You don't need to look at all the spreadsheets that we've looked at. We'll give you them so that you've got them and you know where you're at, right? But see, if you never look at them, the key thing is us updating you on what it is and what the gaps are.
Listen,
and we'll do that in a chat and you've got the paper or the electronic copy to have a look at, but we'll do it in a chat so that you say, right, okay, we're not going to take up all day here expecting you to read pages and pages of documents because nobody's interested.
As I say, well, if I didn't have a learner, right, unfortunately that I've got a learner because I would never have the time to do half of the stuff that she does.
Of course you wouldn't. But lots of people don't have a learner,
I know
right,
they don't.
Jamie? So
I know they
they're
don't.
like, oh, it's me you're going to ask. You say, yeah, and that's how I reassure them. So listen, we're the ones doing the work.
And that was obviously before Lorna joined our business. That was me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people, a lot of companies of our size that have got a Lorna.
No,
and
that's right.
We put Lorna in place because these things are just taking up lots of my time.
Yeah.
And you're going, is my time better spent over here? So if yes, obviously Lorna came to the business and it's an overhead salary and it's hard. It's hard during the growing stage to be able to have people that are just sitting there as pure overheads. But then you're going, right, what more could I do with my time?
Exactly.
Well, somebody's taken all that off my hands.
Yeah.
So and that's when people speak to me about the business. When there's roles, right, that I would say that you should put in your business, but you probably not see it as a value just now because it's money. Don't get me wrong, it's you don't want to be putting millions of overheads in your business and you've got more overheads and you have people making money, but there is certain roles where it just makes life easier as the founder, entrepreneur, the business leader, that you can go and try and focus on things that will actually deliver you that amount of value and more.
Definitely. I mean, even in my own business, so I use like a VA, a virtual assistant, who's fantastic. Rebecca's fantastic, but next year we're probably looking at wanting to get someone internal to support us because it's just so busy. Aye,
and the thing is, there isn't it. So just before we come on today, Fiona and I have been on a wee chat about how busy people are and stuff like that. And there isn't enough hours in the day.
No,
there isn't enough days in the week. And but you're also trying to do it sustainably. So you're not bringing all these costs into your business, and then you can't facilitate them.
Well, that's right.
And as an entrepreneur, that's probably one of the biggest challenges you've got. You know that you need this structure. You know that you need these people. You know that you need all these roles. But at the same time, you've not got a big bunch of cash sitting there.
Well, you're not a corporate, right?
No.
You just don't have that behind you.
No. And you're trying to run as lean as you can, but at the same time, to scale, you need the structure.
Yeah, you do.
So no, I think, as I say, Lorna's feedback to me so far was that everything's been really good and she's really enjoyed the process. So that's something I can definitely say to others that are maybe watching the show, that if you are a smaller business and a small, and you're entrepreneurial and you are trying to juggle a lot of things, but you're looking to try and scale. And you know that people's going to be a part of that scaling process. Well, every business, people are a part of that scaling process. So it's probably worthwhile trying to get you guys in to do something like this before you start to scale, because the people are the most important bit of that.
Totally. And what happens often is that we hear, like, oh, it's okay, I've got a handbook because I worked in such and such a business, I just robbed theirs kind of thing, right? And that happens, right? And I've got contracts. But the reality is that employment law is so complex now.
Yes.
And it changes so often that's probably out of date about 5 years.
Aye. And the thing is, there's apart from obviously people like yourself, most entrepreneurs are the HR people.
Of course they're not, and they're not interested. And do you know what? Fair enough.
Aye. And when I started our business, I started with probably a bit more knowledge of HR than most people because of the roles that I'd had before. But most entrepreneurs are somebody that's like a really good engineer or technician or something like that, that's going, do you know what, I can do this better myself.
Totally.
Right? So they've never probably been involved in that process.
Yeah.
And they'll hear people saying about, right, okay, you need to be on top of this stuff, but they're going, head down, ass up, just, I'll think about it later, I'll think about it later, I'll think about it later. And then before you know it, somebody's taking them to court.
Well, the problem is, well, it's not a problem, right? But if you start a business, your drivers are customer retention revenue, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not thinking, oh, I better start thinking about a handbook. Who cares about the handbook? It's least your worries, right?
No,
and
no.
then that's right? Because ultimately, you need to get to a size.
Aye.
And, you know, like, and we actually service clients right from the very start. We do like a starter pack, which gives them a contract and a handbook and
Do you?
different
Alright.
and like a process for doing right to work checks, because that's often where people get caught out. So we say, we'll do that pack and that gets you set up.
Brilliant.
Or we'll,
I didn't actually know you did that. So
yeah,
there you
and
go.
we do a telephone advice service, and then we do kind of on-site consultancy services. And our kind of unique selling point, if you like, is that we hire senior HR people, so ex-HR directors, heads of HR who've held senior positions, and we go on site.
Aye.
So if you signed up for a day a month, we'll be with you a day a month.
Yep.
Now, we might spend 3/4 of that day with you because all the HR things don't happen when we're there.
Aye,
right?
aye,
So you
aye.
need a couple of hours held back just for things cropping up, or, you know, and that's kind of how it works. But I think that's kind of our uniqueness, is that we become an extension of your management team. People get to know us, and you know, they get to know the team, and they're like, and it's always the same person.
Yeah.
So you're not phoning us in a call centre getting a random. You've got to explain the whole thing again.
Because but for actually, what I'm going to say is, if anybody's got any questions for Fiona while we're on, we'll probably stop in about 10-15 minutes and see if there's any questions.
Yeah, of course.
Because that starter pack thing, I think that there might be people that are thinking about going out on their own. That might be that'd be a great
It
thing
just
for them.
keeps you compliant, right?
100%, because these are the things that really, really trip you up, and
Yeah.
you hope that you've never got people issues, but people
You
issues.
will have at one point.
Aye,
Yeah, but, and people say, oh, you've never had any people issues, and that's brilliant, right? But there will be one eventually,
Oh,
right?
aye,
Because there's
aye.
always one, and they can like almost spread like a cancer, like
Yeah.
where it's like ruins a lot of things.
But it's
and-
not just that, it's to see if you've not done it right at the beginning, the amount of energy, time and potentially cost that it's got at the end of it is
Exactly.
massive.
Exactly.
Absolutely massive.
And nobody's got time for that.
No,
You're,
oh, no.
This is back to the start, right? You're trying to generate revenue and retain customers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, and improve or innovate, right? But you're not like wanting to spend your life dealing with somebody who's a tricky character.
Because we obviously use Quest, as you know, right at the
Yeah.
beginning, and that was good, and we get some good advice and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, but then I was paying them money for nothing,
Yeah.
right? Because we didn't need them. The only time I was really going to need them, or they're going to really help me improve, is if I really had a real proper
Yeah.
legal dispute, right?
Yeah.
That you're then getting them involved, and the people that we dealt with were fine,
Yep.
but it wasn't the same approach.
Yeah.
Right, and that
Yeah.
was where, when we spoke, I went, do you know what, I quite like the idea of that. It's like a fractional HR.
That's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
So you're looking at trying to bring somebody that's got that probably you couldn't afford to have in your business,
Exactly.
into your business,
Exactly. Yeah.
and help you along these lines.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of that, and as I s- people probably only think about it, but the idea of that, when being able to get access to higher skill and higher experience
Yeah.
level than you're probably ever going to afford in your business.
Yeah. And you don't need
No.
it on a full-time basis. You just need somebody just to
Keep you right.
keep you right,
Some-
and then you're on a
sounding
growth.
board.
Yeah.
A sounding board for things, and just being there, as you say, at the end of a phone when you might
Yeah.
need them.
Yeah.
Um,
And a sounding board's actually a really good point, because we spend a lot of time with CEOs that just want to say that, I'm pulling my hair out of this. And I'm like, I just like so frustrated. And you're like, right, okay, well, don't worry about that. We can help you. We'll sort that for you.
so for any CEOs or MDs or anything like that, what we'll do is we'll send you Fiona McKee helpline number, right? It's part of the we'll put it in as a comment. So it'll just be, it's like, so you've got Samaritans, you've got this, you've got that. Fiona McKee, right? Helpline for entrepreneurs.
But I think the thing is, right, like people come to us and sometimes it's like they're really stressed out, and it's like a distress purchase, right? So they're like, we need help. right? And they'll speak to us and we're all very calming and say, oh, that's okay, we can help you with that. And that just immediately puts them at ease because they think, oh, can you? Do you know, can you do that? Like, yeah, it'll be fine. Honestly, I've seen this before. It's absolutely fine. And we'll take care of it. And it's just the relief of it. But actually, often they think, right, I don't want to be in that situation again.
Yep.
So I wanted to get help. And that can be a trigger sometimes.
Yep.
But more often than not, when we get retained clients, it is a result of an audit, because their audit's so thorough and they see the detail they're getting and they see that it's been thorough, and it gives them a bit of confidence if there's not many gaps, or there is gaps, they think, well, okay, I've got them and I'm going to have to fix them. So now I always say to people, listen, invest in the audit, right? Because it'll tell you where you're at. Now look, you can use us to fix it. There'll be some stuff you can fix internally. You don't need to pay to get fixed. And there'll be some stuff that so you can use us, you can use another HR consultant if you want, that's up to you, right? Yep. But by then, we've kind of built the relationship. But also, you shove it in a drawer and never look at it. The fact is, you know where you're at.
Aye. And you know that when the day comes, you go, oh, that's right. I'm sure Fiona's team told me something about that, right? You're in that drawer going, you're hopefully not going, shite. You're hopefully going, it's all right, we're fine. We're fine. Exactly. We're fine.
But there's always stuff internally. If you've got something internally, they can fix it. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a big chunk of money to fix it.
No.
Because there'll be elements, and we'll tell you what it is that's missing. So it's not like a secret. So we're not going to say, oh, you know, you've not got that clause in. We'll tell you what clause it is you've not got.
Aye.
Like, we're transparent. We're about building relationships. To me, it's all about the relationship.
And I think your target audience, that's exactly what you need to do, because it's similar to us. Right now, we maybe no need a lot, but as we grow, we're going to need more. So more support. So it's building that relationship so as it's there, and as these entrepreneurs that you're working with and the SMEs become bigger businesses, more staff, more complexity, that's where they then come and they start needing you a bit more, because now most businesses, entrepreneurs and new businesses, it's usually friends and family that start working with them straight away. And to be honest with you, I think that's when you probably need it most.
Probably is that.
Oh no, right. But then that's when you start growing. You start growing and you're going, right, okay, well, the people that you're bringing into the business, they might not know the business, they know anything else, it's just somebody that's coming and they've got wanting a new job. Getting the values, the mission, making sure you do everything properly. These are the times where you're going, right, we now need to be professional in what we're doing, rather than just your mum, dad, brother, sister, cousin, auntie, whoever is coming into the business and giving you a hand.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as well, like, we can support by introducing systems like HR systems that are really cost effective. We've researched and said that's the best one for an SME. Engagement. So engagement tools for running engagement surveys, we've got a cracking tool for that. So it's these things that professionalise your business, actually. It enables you to understand how do people feel. So it's different, it's your friends and family, but when it's actually people that you don't know, you kind of want a bit of insight, because ultimately you're the boss. Like, if you've got friends and family, it's just Jamie, right? But to somebody that's not your friends and family, you're the boss, and you want to understand in a way that, well, are we good to work for?
100%. Well, we do it, as you've probably seen it, we do monthly feedback and stuff like that. And we're quite fortunate that most of the people in the business will tell us anyway, right? So we've got a good team, and that's what we want to have going forward. We don't want it that you've ever get people in your business that are scared to turn around and tell you that they don't like something or something's not right.
Agreed.
But that's probably easier when you've got the founders that are involved in the conversations at the beginning, but you're then trying to make sure that's team and the management structure and everywhere is through the business. And as you grow, that can become more challenging, but that's where making sure the right processes are in place, the right systems are in place, the right everything else is in place, so as when anybody else is talking, it seems as if it's coming out of one of the leaders' mouths.
And that's the trick, and it's almost like a lot of our clients are actually, we're growing, but we don't want to lose the culture.
100%. Oh, listen,
we're growing,
that's
but
us.
We can't lose the culture, right? Now, so, and that's absolutely right. And we'll be your checker. Right, so we'll do your engagement surveys for you, and we'll highlight to you where like maybe you've fallen away a bit from the values here because there's people saying X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And that's the power of doing the engagement surveys, that you can say, right, okay, I know the leadership team have told me that they don't want to lose the culture. So that's in my head, and I'm looking at things like, are they drifting?
How do we get it back?
Yeah, just don't lose it in the first place, right? Like,
of course you don't want to, but if you, I mean, obviously,
if you drift, you're wanting to bring that back in quickly.
100%. As I say, and I know this from being part of bigger businesses where you're going, nah. So that's what they say, but they do something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's where you when you're a bit detached from the day-to-day working, they need those people that are at the front line to be telling you this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that we are actually doing things as per the values of the business, right? Okay, well, let's get it back on track.
Exactly. And we do that, and my team do that. We'll sort of put the mirror up to the CEO and say, actually, I know that's what it was like, but actually what we're getting in this survey is that people are not as happy, or they're feeling that, it doesn't feel like they're following the values anymore. And that's a difficult conversation, right? It's not easy to say that. But actually, I would rather be the one that said it than have it drifting even further.
It needs to be said.
Absolutely.
Because again, we talked about something, it's not on this, but it's... you've got a ship that's starting to sink, and what's happening is you're just now drilling more holes in it rather than actually doing anything else. So you need to know as soon as the first hole's there, so as you can fix it. Because as more and more holes get drilled, the harder it is to actually save it.
Oh, of course it is.
No, that's good. Is there any questions, Andrew? Because before I go on, no, that's fine. I wanted to talk to you because you're now the official partner of Scottish Edge, is it?
Yeah, so the official HR support partner for Scottish Edge. So
entrepreneurs coming out your ears.
Yeah, so we're delighted to be vetted and selected for Scottish Edge to provide HR services to winners and entrepreneurial businesses, because that's our space.
Do they get it for nothing?
No.
Scottish Edge, mind I'm a winner. Might have been a while ago, but I'll still cash in my chips.
Oh, Jamie. So they do get some things for nothing, right? So they get a mini audit, which is not as detailed as yours, but it still gives us a good health check, right?
Yeah.
And they get an hour one-to-one with an HR consultant. Listen, don't get me wrong, so if they need more time, I'm good with that. But at the end of the day, I want to help. But I get great help. When I started, I still get great help from people, and you want to give that back, right? For me, I couldn't believe when I started the amount of people that are willing to help me. Because I came from corporate businesses where it was
everybody hated each other. You're getting easy. I'm going to tell everybody you're crap.
So this to me was like, you'll help me? Like, wow, I couldn't get away with that. So then I want to be that person back, because I think it's important. So if there's any Scottish Edge winners or alumni that needed advice, or anyone, they don't need to be in Scottish Edge, phone and ask for advice.
Phone the Fiona helpline.
Not all the time. Start charging you if you do that. You'll get a bill in. But generally speaking,
what's going to end up happening is I'm probably getting a bill in because everybody will like, I get your number off of Jamie. I get your number off of Jamie.
I'll just invoice him. I've got his details. No, but genuinely, like, I would rather give somebody a bit of free advice and get them on the right track than have them making a mess of something, and maybe they can't afford it, right? Businesses can't always afford it.
No.
And that's understandable, but I would rather help you, and who knows what will happen in the future.
100%. And we say all the time, it costs not to be a good guy. Right?
I agree.
Right.
And I would rather that. I would rather be known for being somebody that gives you something.
Somebody that's helpful.
Somebody that helps you, than somebody that's like, oh no, I speak to in a minute.
You get all these people that, I can't really answer the phone because I need a PO number.
I know.
Right?
No, that's not us.
But there's people and businesses out there that we both know of that it's like that. And we talk about it all the time. We do a lot of things for people, right, for free, and don't charge them and stuff like that. And it's a conversation it takes you 10 minutes.
It's the right thing.
Half an hour. Big wow.
Exactly.
But this is why big part of this show is I like surrounding my people with surrounding myself with people that have got that same approach. Because good things come round, right? So
I
people will
agree.
remember that. So you go in there, you have that conversation, they're going, do you know what, see the next time I actually need something else, I'm going to give Fiona a call.
I'll tell you a wee story about that quickly. So I had someone approach me and ask me for some advice, right? And they had a provider, they had an HR provider, and this provider wasn't giving them the advice, right? And they'd been put on to me, and I spoke to them. And they said, "Oh, look, we've got a provider, blah blah blah." And I said, "Right, listen, I'm not going to take this because you're already paying somebody. So it's not right. Ethically, it's not right for me to take money when you're already paying somebody, even though it's not me they're paying, right?" I said, "But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email with the questions that I think that you need to ask your HR provider.
Yeah.
And that should trigger the right response if you ask these questions. So I'll send you an email." I said, "And if that doesn't work out, right, if they don't give you it, come back and see me."
Right.
Anyway, I didn't hear from them again for like 6 months or something. I got a call out of the blue saying, "Fiona, listen, I'm not with that HR provider now. I want to come to you." Right? Because actually, I could have taken that.
Aye.
But I'm not interested. I am not interested in making a quick buck.
Aye.
It's all about the relationship for me. I want to have good relationships and referrals.
Aye. It's the world, and if the world's definitely changing more and more, it's all about long-term partnerships,
Yeah.
right? Transactional sales are a thing of the past,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's sorry, that's a lie. It has always been like this. It's just more people are now starting to realise it,
Yeah.
right? And more people are starting to realise that these people, whether it's a supplier, whether it's whoever, that you need to have a relationship there.
Yeah.
And when you've got that relationship there and there's transparency there, it all works.
Yeah.
What breaks down is if one part of that relationship isn't on the same page,
Yeah.
right, then it falls down. And this isn't new. Right?
No.
And that's Gordon and I were actually talking about it and said, this is what we've done all our lives, right? Be a good guy, just try to help people, try to do all that kind of stuff. And so that's why, I mean, when I started my business, I knew there was going to be customers out there. I didn't have any.
Yeah.
But I said at the time, I can remember saying to Kim when I first spoke to him, I went, "They'll come." I says, because there's been years that I've helped people out. So people remember that.
They do remember that.
But you remember the people that help you, but you also remember the people that were arses.
Exactly.
So it's be the good guy.
There's some clients you don't want.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And I think, that's important. But there's some clients you think, we're not aligned.
100%. Well, we get it just now, so we get it with what we do from a reliability point of view. We'll go in and speak to somebody and they'll say, and basically all they're worried about is how much it's going to cost. I'm like, this is never going to work. Yeah. So when all those conversations start going on, we're like, listen, we'll stop you there. Yeah. We're not the type of company you want to work with. We're here to try and save you money. Doesn't matter how much it costs us. We guarantee that we'll save you tenfold, if not a lot more than that, than you ever pay us. But when they're looking at that, they're just looking to tick a box for a price. Yeah. And that's not what we do. Yeah. And you'll be the same. There's no point in you going and trying to work with a business where the philosophy isn't about their people. It's about making money. No, and absolutely. The people come secondary to that.
Absolutely. And I think as well, you've got to invest. If you're not going to invest in getting the right things put in place, then don't bother, right? If you're not going to implement the stuff that are being suggested as a result of the audit, then what's the point?
It's just a waste of everybody's time. Yeah. It's a waste of everybody's time.
And a waste of money. It's a waste of their money.
Aye, but a lot of these people don't mind about the wasting of the money. They just want to tick a box. I know. Right? So money's no that.
And maybe they've got a funding application or something. Just need to do these things. Just getting done. They're never going to refer to them again. No, well, they're not my type of client, right? That's not the client that we're trying to attract at all. We're looking for entrepreneurial businesses, entrepreneurial mindset, small businesses that are like, actually need a bit of a hand here.
Aye. Well, I think there's got obviously quite a lot of kind of smaller, new start entrepreneurial businesses kind of watch this show. So hopefully some of them kind of take that on board and go, do you know what, I'm maybe not ready yet. Yeah. But could I have a wee chat?
Absolutely. And also I think like when we became the Scottish Edge partner, we introduced like different things for entrepreneurs on their journey, and one was that starter pack I spoke about. It's the first one, right? If you get one employee, you need it. And then if you maybe get 1 to 5 employees, you maybe just need that and then a device line. And then once you get beyond that 5 to 70 employees, you're looking at maybe a half a day or 1 day a month as a consultant, and we'll come on site. And then when you get 70 plus, we've got clients that are 70 plus, then we'll help you hire an HR person in and make sure you've got somebody good and solid that can deliver for you. And we might still be like 1 day a month in the background or 2 days a month helping you and coaching that person to bring them up to speed. So you're on a journey with businesses.
And that's what you want to be.
Yeah,
because that's a sustainable business model.
Totally.
It's not a one trick pony where you just come in. And this is where, and that's, people get that impression of consultancies.
Yeah.
They just come in, rip you off, and away they go with your money and leave you with some crappy report that you half the time you don't even understand.
Yeah.
We see it all the time in the kind of net zero space.
Yeah.
Where, because it's a big talking point and a big topic at the moment, there's lots of companies coming in just on the back of that as a energy consultancy or a this consultancy or a sustainability consultancy. They just come in and charge folk an absolute arm and a leg and then bamboozle them with a load of crap.
Yeah.
And you're going, what's the actions? How do you take this forward to make my business better? And that's where these people aren't interested in a long-term partnership.
No.
They're interested in getting 15, 20 grand out of you and then maybe get it again next year.
Exactly. Well, that's not us at all. Like, we're like a fraction of that cost. And also, we tell you the answers. Like, when we audit, we give you the answers.
Yeah.
So you're not like, and if you maybe contact us, we'll be able to tell you how to do this. Lauren will be able to do a fair amount of stuff that we've said in your report because we're telling you what it is. And that's what's important. Like, we'll give you the answer. We want you to have the answer. We want you to be able to stand your own 2 feet at some time and be able to, like, eventually offboard us because you've grown so much that you don't need us anymore.
And you've got a person.
Yeah.
But what during that whole, we actually do something very similar. So we're teaching people to take their own data, teaching people how to do their own analysis and folk like that. But is that not doing you money? I bet there'll become a time where you'll then be something else that we can add value to. And if we're the good guys helping you through that journey, guess what? See, when you need this other nice shiny thing over here, and if it's something, they'll come back to us and say, can you help us with that nice shiny thing? And that's just how it works.
And they'll recommend you.
100%.
And see, honestly, the majority of our work's recommendations.
That's your business. Your business is growing on that. Obviously, we're now at the stage where we're trying to ramp up quite quickly. So the kind of what you probably call it, the word of mouth type thing, that goes so far because only so many people know so many people. But when you're now at the stage trying to scale, so it's now let's go and talk to the people who don't know any of the folk that we already know. And that's the next challenge that we're taking on. But when somebody talks, and we used to get all the time folk like, go and speak to Jamie and Kane. They've just saved me 200 grand. Right? Folk come to me and say, can you save me 200 grand? Right?
Don't know.
Most of the time the answer was yes, more than likely. But you're just, you're not having to sell anything at that point.
Exactly.
You're just having to go in and work out whether you can or you can't, and if you can, where it's from. And it's life gets made a bit easier, but then you have to go out to the market and then try and prove that credibility, and then what will happen is you'll then have a new bunch of people that are telling each other, and that's how it works.
Exactly. And also I think, I use a girl for social media who's fantastic, Heather, and we've really noticed that we're going up the Google rankings and we're getting calls in from people we don't know, because things like this, like LinkedIn Live and all of these things where, we do that on a regular basis and we get reviews off of our clients on Google, and it pushes us up, and it's an investment again, but actually we're getting a return on that investment. And the first time ever with social media that I've seen that we're really getting a return now, it's brilliant. So I think that's right. You're wanting some of that as well. You want that. I always say, like, if we've grown to here with people we know, how much more is out there from all the people we don't know?
It's massive. So obviously Andrew and I have worked together for a while. Andrew delivered a digital marketing workshop to the Ayrshire Chamber recently.
Yeah.
So he's doing a bit of that. But I came from a world where you used to have salespeople all over the world doing sales, right? You can reach that same amount of people just by doing stuff on social media now. It's a different world. different world. And I also think, see, people's buying patterns and stuff like that are completely different now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how often somebody would get a sales call and then let the guy or the woman in and then talk to them and then buy something. People need, there's the relationship building part of it now.
Yeah.
And because people get access to things so easily and readily through internet and all that kind of stuff, people, we've found this is people come to us because like, I like the cut of your jib. Is that the old statement?
Yeah.
So, because they see you and go, I like what yous are about.
Yeah.
I like the sound of what yous are doing. I like that. So it's back to then you're trying to attract the type of customer that you want to work with, rather than somebody that's just trying to buy something.
Yeah. And also they'll be following you for a while on social media, and like maybe not commenting in any of your posts or anything like that, but it's interesting
nosing
like
about,
skulking about, and then like just following you and watching.
All these ones that have got the anonymous thing in LinkedIn.
I think I'm one of them. Anyway.
Yeah, troller.
Like stalking about. They're not stalking about. They're just like following you, interested in what you're doing. Never comment, never say anything, and you pick up the phone and say, "Oh, hi." I always ask anyone that contacts, "How did you find out about us?" I love to know.
We've been getting quite a lot of incoming inquiries from Pakistan, Singapore, all these kind of places. So I don't know if the late lunch shows getting seen over in the middle and the Far East. I don't know. But we're getting inquiries in for all sorts of places.
Fantastic.
Google and so by Google and all that's just all changed again. But SEO and the way that people look for things is going to be changing drastically.
And ChatGPT as well. Like people say, I don't know, HR consultancy, Glasgow. So how do you go into ChatGPT? I think that's the next thing. Like, how do we go into that?
ChatGPT, who are the best condition monitoring business in Scotland are.
Oh, well.
Right.
I've got a feeling it's you.
It's actually quite good. The only reason we were actually going to put it out for a technical Tuesday, but then obviously the ChatGPT would see our competitors and all. Don't even care because we're still the best.
Exactly.
So what we need to get to the stage is we're seen as the best in the UK.
Yeah.
And then we'll take over the world later.
Yeah. We're lowering our standards. We're saying we just want to be the leading HR consultancy in Scotland.
I'll get that. So I'm going to ChatGPT that this tomorrow and say, how does Fiona McKee's business become the best HR? There you go. So ask ChatGPT and see what it says, see what it tells you need to do.
That's a good idea. Great idea.
AI is the future.
Yeah.
So no, it's great to see because you're building obviously all these customers, but it's also about your community.
Yeah.
It's not just as we said about the transactional stuff. So see from a customer point of view for you. So what are the key? We used to call it know your client or know your customer. So what's the key things that you're looking for in them? So as well as what they're going to be looking for from you, what you're looking for in them.
So we are across all sectors.
Yeah.
But typically we get a lot of work from manufacturing and professional services. So that would be kind of typical what the client would look like. They could have an HR team. Some of them do.
Right, okay.
And they might have an HR. So there's some clients that have an HR team that maybe their HR people are maybe not as experienced. So remember, like we're ex-HR directors. So, you know, we're probably looking in at a higher level. So maybe they just need some coaching. So the client might have a gap there, or the HR person might discover, I think I need a bit of help with my strategy. And sometimes it can be simple as they do know it, they've just not got the confidence, right? And just somebody that may come along and say, right, okay, right, what's your plan? Let's see, and what are the component parts? And then once they've got the plan, they can see what they need in terms of skills.
Yeah.
Because often people will go ahead and try and hire people without the plan, right? But then you're like, well, you're going to have to shoehorn them in somewhere now. Right? So you better have your plan, your people fall out the bottom. So there's some of that. We've got some like larger clients. In fact, one of our clients is SEC, the event campus. We were there seeing them. We'd done a piece of work for them, and we were there seeing them. They gave me this like fantastic signed picture of Lionel Richie's in his tour. It was absolutely amazing. They said, take that home, put it in your office, take that back to your office, hang it up. I thought, nah, that's coming back to my home office, so that's my home office. But anyway, in terms of what we want in a client, we're looking for in our clients, we're looking for somebody who actually wants to solve the problems, wants to fix them, have not got anyone, and they're looking for an understanding of where the gaps are, and they're looking for the help to fix it. And
so they're peaceful. You want customers that are looking to learn, right? No customers that are looking to tick a box.
Not at all.
Right, good.
So, and we're all about the relationship. Even if I'm not servicing the clients, it's when my team, I'll still go and meet the CEO of that business, go for lunch or find out how things are, to understand, like, not just from my side, because I know I've not got any concerns about my team, but from their side, like, what works really well for you, and, you know, like, what are your business challenges just now? Because that will help inform, like, how we can help them further. So if they've got a growth plan and they're thinking, oh, we need to grow, can't get people, so right, okay, well, let's analyse that bit, see how we can help you with that.
Brilliant. No, it sounds really good. And I'm hoping that, some people that are watching this are maybe sitting in that position where they're just sitting just now, and it might even be that they've not got any real issues just now.
Which is great, right? That's what we want. We don't want people having loads of issues.
But what you want them to do is say, I want to just learn about this, so as things progress, I know that I'm doing things in the right way for both my people and my business.
It's getting people set up for success, right? It's getting them, get your handbook in place, get your contract in place, know it's compliant. These things will be shoved in a drawer in somebody's house or a cupboard somewhere, but that's what you're relying on if it goes wrong.
100%.
That's what you're relying on. So that needs to be updated, and it needs to be in place so that you don't need to worry. Like, there's some businesses that will have, like, on their handbook, like, this forms part of your contract. Let me tell you, do not put that in your handbook. You don't want it forming part of your contract and your terms of business. Another wee bit of advice we give anyone that's listening is that if you've not got your probationary period set to 6 months, please get it set to 6 months. 3 months is not enough time
100%
to
agree.
assess anyone. So please get it set to 6 months to allow you time to properly assess people.
Yep. And doesn't matter what role you're in. As you said, we were talking earlier about, obviously, people in the hospitality industry where they can probably learn their job quite quickly.
Yes.
But it's then learning who they are.
Absolutely.
Right? And I've seen it previously where for the first 3 months, people can hide their true self for 3 months. It's harder for 6 months.
Exactly.
And you've got more opportunities to try and do the kind of
assessment of it.
Yes, are we the right fit for each other?
Yeah, absolutely.
Scenario.
Absolutely. And I think especially with the Employment Right Bill that's coming in, and they're talking about day one rights and a potential initial period of employment of 9 months, you want to get into the swing of that with your managers just now, so that you are assessing properly under a probation period, and it's not like, when that comes in.
See that, the rights from day one. So here we've probably actually getting into some technical talk here. The rights from day one, so what they're saying is that you're kind of probation, and at the moment, if somebody's there for less than 2 years, it's there's ways in which you can part company, right?
Exactly.
Whereas going forward, that's obviously going to be a bit more challenging by the sound of things.
Yep.
So what is the purpose behind that act, do you think? Is that, but just it's obviously to safeguard the employee more, but obviously having the same rights when you start a job compared to somebody that's been there for 10 years and proven themselves, I don't know if I'm completely on board with that.
I know, and actually I'm the same. I think, like, they reduced down the protection to 1 year, and I felt a bit right.
Yeah.
I think 2 years in employment before you get any employment rights is too long.
Aye.
Right,
And
it
there's
doesn't
companies,
feel good,
there's
because there's
companies,
unscrupulous companies,
aye,
right?
100%.
If it's come to work for you and me, they'll be absolutely fine, but
Aye.
not everybody's like us,
No,
Jamie,
I know,
right?
I know.
So I think, like, 2 years is too long. But now it's gone from 2 years to potentially day one rights. Now, the actual detail of all that has not been fleshed out, so no one's clear in exactly what that will look like. There is talk about an initial period of employment, which will really be effectively a probation period.
Aye.
But again, during that time, there's talk about it won't just be as simple as just like, don't come back type of thing. So that's all still to be established, and worked through what that'll look like. But I do think you don't know a person. There's a true saying, somebody said to me recently, like, it's a shame the person you interview is not the person that turns up on day one, right?
Aye.
And you know what? There's something in that.
Aye.
So it's hard to know within a really short period of time of an interview. Like, you're on your A game, right? Like,
100%.
you're really giving us all a great story about how good you are and you think quite like that person, blah, blah. So I think, there is I think 2 years is too long.
Yeah.
I think day one is like the other extreme, and
Yep.
it'd be good to get somewhere in between.
I think that the likes of the year thing, I mean, I've seen it loads of times where you've got somebody that's been with a business and then a week before their second year, the next thing they've been paid off.
That's just rubbish.
It's wrong, completely wrong. I mean, and this is where companies have just been taking advantage of that within
that's
it.
not good.
But that's the problem they've got. So you've got all those companies that are doing all that crap that then brings these kind of policies into play.
Well, that's it.
Right? That then you've got people who try and do the right thing, but sometimes things don't work out.
Your parameters are too tight now.
And then you're in a position where hiring people becomes more challenging.
But puts people off.
It puts people off.
And it makes the process longer because everyone needs to be more certain.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you might interview somebody and say, actually, yeah, they look good. But if you know from day one they're going to have unfair dismissal rights and all the rest of it, you might have 3 stages
Aye.
that you wouldn't have had before.
And what you also find is people, so there's times where you go, do you know what? I'll give you a chance. Right? That's gone. That's gone.
Won't do that.
So they we'll give it a chance. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
Right. That is now gone. And those people. So see if you've done it an 80-20, 80% of those people will work.
Yeah,
right. 20%
absolutely.
maybe don't.
Yeah.
So those 80% that could have had a good opportunity and a good opportunity of a role and a good opportunity to be part of your business and your journey are now not going to get that.
I think that's right. I think that's definitely a risk.
Aye. And then, while we're on the kind of technical subjects, we're talking as well.
Don't ask me too many technical questions.
No, come on. You know that I'm not technical enough to ask you anything really hard. But I'm seeing it right now that all we're getting is, obviously, the national minimum wage going up.
Yeah.
Great, right? I'm all for it, for roles and stuff like that. But then that's obviously squeezing down people's profits. You had the national insurance tax increase, that's squeezing people's profits. So there's a lot of good things going on for the people, but for the businesses it's making it more challenging. And I'm hearing obviously for bigger businesses as well, they're going, we're just not going to be hiring, right? So what some of these bigger businesses are saying is, I'm now expecting my people to do more than whereas before I would have hired. And I the worry I've got is this is not going to get any better.
No.
Right? And with the things that we're hearing about from the budget and government and all this kind of stuff, we're not going to get political today, but from what you're hearing, you're going, this just sounds more challenging for a business. And again, the worry I've got is that. I mean, I was down in London yesterday, Wednesdays, I was saying to you, one of the things I was saying is like, apprentices. There's absolutely no support for businesses to bring apprentices on.
But we need them.
Of course you need them. They are the future. But there's businesses out there going, we're just not doing it anymore. Because you've got an apprentice that's coming in, right? Obviously, you're trying to be a real living wage employer, right? So doing a real living wage employer, that's fantastic. But you've got an apprentice that's coming in, and even if you're trying to take on like more kind of not 16-year-olds and you want to take on 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, they're having to get paid whatever the real living wage is at that point. And I want everybody to get that, but they're in a process and a journey, right? So they're in a journey where they're starting with not a lot of skills and not a lot of knowledge, which a business is investing to get that into them.
Absolutely.
And there's no support coming back.
I agree. I think that's a massive issue, and that's why we're not seeing apprentices coming through, because businesses can't afford to do that. They just can't afford to do it. And actually, we need help with that, because it's essential. If you don't bring apprentices on, well, what's the future going to look like?
Yeah, well, an apprentice is at least 3, if sometimes 4 years before they're ever returning any revenue to.
That's a cost onto your business.
Just a massive
you get
cost.
Nothing back for.
There's a business my size who we try to do all the right things. So all these great things and the right things that we're trying to do for our people, for the future of the aviation and all that kind of stuff, all these great things cost us an absolute fortune. And you're going, you then become, you then as a business owner, you've got the business and the moral dilemma going on in your head constantly. So me and Kate are sitting going like that. how do we do this going forward? We want to continue bringing all these people on, but at the same time, all that's happening is right now, the more we're doing that good thing, the less our profits are.
Yeah, and you can't like reattribute that back out to your clients because you cost yourself out the market.
Of course you would. Oh, realistically, we should be going to clients saying we need an extra 20% on what we charge you.
Yeah.
They're just going to tell us,
Chase
piss
yourself.
off. Aye, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
But
the other side of the minimum wage and that is for me is that a lot of our clients are finding it really difficult where the minimum wage is going up and up, which is a good thing, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It absolutely is a good thing. But then their, say, team leader and their manager, it's got this knock-on effect. Because maybe the team leader was getting a few quid more than their direct reports. But that might now be like less than £1. And they're saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking this stress on for like £40 a week or something. I'm not doing it. So then they struggle to fill that role, and then it goes up with the manager and the more senior manager, and it's just like cost, and you can get it from the individual's perspective. You think,
100%.
I can understand it.
Why do I want to? Why do I want to?
it?
Aye. And the thing is as well though, so that's all, so they're going up, they should go up, they should go up, they should go up, they should go up, right? But can you charge all that extra?
No.
No, you can't.
So you know it makes sense, right? And
Yeah.
you know that actually I can understand what they're saying, but I actually can't do anything about it.
Aye, and it's not like, I don't know, say you're a business to consumer organisation, say your Tesco's, for example, right? Aye, they can maybe afford to put an extra 2 pence on every can of beans and everything else that they sell, and then recuperate it that way. But see, if you're a small business,
there's no
if
chance.
you turn around and say, by the way, right, so like, let's just take a takeaway shop, for example, right? So your meal used to cost you a tenner, right? It's now 15 quid because my front of desk person now gets paid more, so I've needed to pick my chef's wages up, I've needed to pick the waiter's wages up, I've needed to pick this one. You're going, listen, to be honest with you, I'm just not going to get it. Right, understand you've got all the costs, but it's not really
it's
not really my problem, right? And that's what people think, and you've got the same as well. We obviously business to business clients. Yeah, you're maybe getting like signing up to 3 and 5 year contracts and deals here, which is obviously you've got obviously incremental increases factored in, but then the government just comes and gives you, there's your national insurance went up by X amount. Yeah. Absolutely nothing you can do in it. Some clients you can go back to them and say, listen, this is too much a hit for us, can we do something here? Yeah. Some of them are responsive, but you've got others.
Others say no.
Aye, no, we can't afford it.
Exactly. I know.
So, aye. Oh well, good.
Challenging.
But if it was easy, everybody did it.
Exactly.
Fiona. So, anything else that you want to talk about? We're only about 20 minutes short.
No. I knew that. The problem is that you start talking.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Because you were sitting, I'd seen obviously you'd emailed and you went, I don't know what we're really going to talk about, but we can both talk, so we'll be fine.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been great to chat, and I really appreciate it.
No, good, and we'll get you we'll get everybody the Fiona hotline. No. Aye, so as of today, it's just the phone is out the window. No, so obviously people have seen your LinkedIn on this. Yeah. So are you happy for anybody that might think that they want to learn a bit more and want to move themselves forward to reach out to you on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. Or drop me a message, fiona.mckee@thehatpractice.co.uk.
There you go. Right, not getting your phone now, no?
No.
Right, Fiona.
Get my phone number from our more friends. I know you're a bit better.
So build up, thanks wee man, build up the relationship, then you can get a number, right?
Exactly.
So it's a journey.
Exactly.
I just got it today. So right, okay, thanks Fiona, thank you very much for coming in. Obviously, I know that we've learned a lot from you, and I'm pretty confident that anybody else who deals with you will learn a lot as well.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Right, goodbye. Anybody that's still watching this just now, thank you very much for watching. Anybody that watches it back, see you soon.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.